Section 3, Team 5, Take 5, JP Morgan Chase, and Action.
Good morning, my name is Bridget Lanigan.
I'm Larissa Del Carlo Estrada.
I'm Yoni Glosser. And I'm Shayna Alina.
This is our stock valuation for JP Morgan stock. We calculated an intrinsic value of $77, which is greater than the current price of $67. Therefore, we recommend to buy this stock.
As an overview, today we'll be walking through JP Morgan's background of financial analysis, stock valuations, and finally our recommendation.
Going into the background, JP Morgan has stated, we have been helping our clients do first-class business for more than 200 years. Throughout that period, we have taken a long-term approach to client solutions, providing committed, innovative, and consistent advice and execution to our clients at all times. We look forward to providing our clients with first-class service over the next 200 years. JP Morgan is a public banking and financial service company. They are the largest bank in the U.S. with over 240,000 employees. They started as Manhattan Company in 1799. Their headquarters are in New York City, and JP Morgan Chase was formed in 2000. Next, we conducted a SWOT analysis, with the main strengths being they have a well-developed brand name and have strong global presence. Their weaknesses are they are very dependent on the U.S. and have intense competition from other banks. Their opportunities are to expand in other countries and diversify portfolios for customers. And their threats are changing government regulations.
JP Morgan is currently the #1 bank in the United States with a total asset value of $2.1 trillion. And so they have two big main business segments, which are then broken down to smaller categories. So for consumer business, that's 46% of their revenues. And then under wholesale businesses, they've got corporate investment banking, which is 34% of their revenues, commercial banking, which is 7%, and asset management, which makes up 12% of their revenues.
To name just a few of their products and services, JP Morgan offers, with market-leading research, proprietary pricing data, analytics, and trade execution across multiple asset classes, commodities, credit, emerging markets, equities, foreign exchange, futures and options, public finance, securitized products, and structured products. They also offer investor services with solutions for alternative investors, asset managers, bank brokers and dealers, as well as insurance and pension funds.
Going into their leadership, the company's executive leaders are Jamie Dimon, who is the chairman and CEO. He has been with the company for 11 years and is known to have a conservative leadership style. Marianne Lake is the CFO and has been with the company for 6 years. And John L. Donnelly is the head of human resources, has also been with the company for 6 years. And overall, JP Morgan has a fast-paced work environment, and compared to Goldman Sachs, they have a very conservative style. This is strongly influenced by their CEO, Jamie, who is known to have a charismatic and conservative leadership style.
Going into JP Morgan's financial condition, for our financial ratios, we got that their profitability ratios are pretty good. Their profit margin is the exact same as the industry average, and their ROE is significantly higher. For the leverage ratios, the debt to equity ratio is only okay, but their interest coverage is actually double the industry average. And then for their equity ratios, their forward PE is not so good, but then their dividend payout is fantastic. It's 1.2 above the industry average. And then their growth rates, their revenue percentage is below average, but their operating income and net income are both excellent. So overall, they're doing very well.
For our technical analysis, we can see that there's an upward trend line that shows there is a big volume coming. The target stock price is trending towards $70. This information indicates a bullish market.
So under the perpetuity model, to determine our EPS estimates for 2015 and 2016, we drew from the 2012 and 2014 growth rates as well as the growth rates over the past year using quarterly results and arrived at a 2016 EPS estimate of $6.75. We then used a beta of 1.2 because we know that JP Morgan is more conservative and is not as risky as Goldman Sachs. Also, Goldman Sachs carries more debt. So we arrived at a CAPM value of 9% and used this to arrive at an intrinsic value of $75, which is about a 12% premium from its current price. And we used the CAPM low range because we want to be more conservative in our methodology, especially given the recent fluctuations in the growth rates over the past few years. For Gordon Growth, we again used the CAPM value, and we decided to use a 1% range because, again, JP Morgan is more conservative than Goldman Sachs, who uses the 2% range. We arrived at an intrinsic value of $84, which is about 25% premium, but we believe that this was still within reach. For our multiple approach, we use the averages of its major competitors over the past year to arrive at a midpoint of about 11.5, which then we rounded out to 12. We then added and subtracted 100 basis points to give us a low, medium, and high range, and an intrinsic value of $78. To calculate the WACC, we use the 60-40 debt-to-equity structure of JP Morgan, and we used a similar cost of debt as Wells Fargo, who is a top competitor, and determined a WACC of 7.5, which we then rounded down to 7 to give us a more distinctive high, medium, and low range in our calculations. For our DCF model, we used CAPM because we thought it would be more appropriate than the WACC, and we added 300 basis points to that CAPM, used the Gordon growth value of 1%, and grew out the 2020 present value by 1% to arrive at a terminal value of about $72. Our intrinsic value is $75.
So our weighted stock valuations, we thought that it would be more accurate to give more weight to the DCF, though all weights were fairly close. And we came to our weighted intrinsic value of $77.
Based upon our intrinsic value of $77 being greater than the current price of $67, we recommend to buy JP Morgan stock. Our trades are buy call options, right put options, buy JP Morgan stock on margin, buy financial services ETFs on margin, buy call options on financial services ETFs, and right put options on financial services ETFs.
In conclusion, JP Morgan is currently the #1 bank in the country. It's doing very well for itself and has an intrinsic value $10 higher than its current price, so we recommend buying this.